It worked. Yay. We did it. Oh, that was fun. That was fun. All right, let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Since, that was just a little hiccup seem to have getting the live to go. Okay. So let me know. I'm just getting one thing ready beforehand, before we start. All right, I got it ready. Okay. Oh, yay, you can hear me. Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me here today. Hi there, Dennis and Brian. It was nice to see you guys hanging out here before my live even started. I was like, oh, hi, my beloved Atler, Dennis, and Alexis, Geraldine, Joanna. Nice to see you guys. Yeah, so much fun. Oh, so yeah, I don't know what just happened just there. I was trying to go live there and I wrote you guys in the chat, was like, okay, here we go. And I pressed to go live and it was like, no. Guess what it said on the screen? Just no. Like, try again or finish. And it wouldn't let me hit, and I pressed try again. It wouldn't do anything when I hit that. So I had to finish and it was leaving the site. And then I had to reopen it. And so I tried a second time and it still did it. But the third time was the charm. So here I am, ready to talk to you guys today about some fun things. I got all of my things around me here to go into. Oh, hi, Hopeful Art. Nice to see you. I'm so excited, you guys. Hopeful Art is making a picture for me. She's making one of her artworks that she does for spirit animals. And so I'm so excited for when it comes because I'm definitely going to be showing it. And if anyone can get her link, gosh, what is your link to your website? I can't remember what it is offhand right now, but if you want to just type it without it being a link in the chat, you can feel free to do that. Okay. Like Miss Liz usually is the one that gets the links, but I don't know if I see her in here right yet, but that's okay. She'll be in here eventually. So what do we got going today? Okay, well, first off, same thing as I always say at the beginning of every stream. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel so that way I can build up my subscriber count and have more people come and hang out with us like this because it's so much fun. All right, the other thing I wanted to mention real quick is just if I'm going to do the reading at the end for the collective, but if anyone is interested in a reading, you can email me at auroradiamondheart@gmail.com. Okay, I actually had something really funny happen last week. And I'm pretty sure it's because I keep promoting the Journey to Truth conference here in May in Grafton, Illinois that I'm going to. So if you want to meet me up there, I put the link. Oh, I did put the link. I put the website name in my description. And I think because of me doing that so consistently, someone who was trying to get a hold of me sent an email about offering me help to get my subscriber count up. Like they do specific work with videos and stuff like that. And they sent it to the Journey to Truth guys. So I got a message from Tyler and he's like, what is this? And he sent me an email of this man who does this business. And it's so funny because I literally just been praying. Like, I'm like, I need help. I need someone that can help me do a web design, who does that for a living or something. And I need help with, yeah, absolutely. I would love help with getting my videos, however they shape them up in order for them to be seen more and like into the algorithm more. I'm like, of course. So I like, it was literally an answer to my prayer within 24 hours, which is usually how it happens for me. And I'm going to get into quite a few examples of that here today. And the crow medicine thing that we're going to get into, I'm really excited about. I am going to just be reading a little from this book that someone sent me. It's Geraldine. I want to just tell everyone, Geraldine sent me this really beautiful information on crow medicine, and it really resonated with me. I really felt it deeply. And so I've had some really interesting crow experiences before, crow being experiences. So I plan on getting into some of that in a couple minutes here. Okay, so first off, what I wanted to say is, and I'm bringing this up now because I've already talked about it in my past 2 live streams, but Spirit was really like nagging me actually about this one part of the story that I didn't mention when I spoke of the story of Finn and Fern from Adventure Time that I've been kind of sharing with you guys how I've been relating to it and like what they've been what the story for them was. Okay, like last week I basically got into how their story ends, but there were some details that I did not remember and I didn't get right. And I feel like well, I know it's important to the story there. It's important for me to look at this. So I'm going to share this with you guys because, if any of you guys are relating to it, then I definitely want you to have all the facts for the symbology behind this story. Okay, so as you know, I'll just recap it a little bit. All right, Finn the human is a hero of the land, okay, which is another version of Earth, basically, where a nuclear war had happened at some point in time, and half of, a big old chunk of the Earth is missing and gone, and all the humans got mutated, except for a small colony of humans that managed to stay alive. And through circumstance, Finn gets separated from the group of humans. He ends up thinking he's the only human, actually. And he goes on to live a very adventurous life with his magical shape-shifting dog named Jake. Okay, and so at one point in time, he has a storyline happen where he actually he sees it actually created from another version of himself on an alternate timeline. When the two confront each other, this alternate version of him kind of explodes and turns into, or shapeshifts and morphs into a hero sword. Okay, and inside this hero sword, or on the hilt of it, there's a blue orb that's actually a space, and that is where the mini version of Finn, who is that sword, lives. Okay, that's where the consciousness of Finn lives, and he ends up realizing like he can communicate with this sword over, several different episodes. And so at one point, the sword gets stabbed. I said I was going to recap, but really I'm just retelling the story, aren't I? Yeah, I sure am, because I'm getting it better. So please listen with me here. It's meaningful. Okay, so at one point, the blue orb gets stabbed with a demonic grass blade, and a little tiny grass demon basically gets inside the orb, and it overtakes Finn. So it overtakes the Finn sword, and basically says, we can do this together, but really he's in control of the little Finn. Okay. And they create a body together. This body ends up being Fern, who can also shapeshift, but he usually stays in this grass form that just looks exactly like Finn. The only problem with it is that Fern, he wants to be like Finn. He is Finn, okay? But everything he does is just wicked, okay? Like Finn tries to teach him how to be a hero. They try to have these adventures together, and he just is absolutely brutal. And like all these ideals that he thinks is just brilliant ideals, like they're just absolutely twisted and upside down. Okay. And so eventually he decides, since he can't be a hero and he can't act like Finn, that he'll just take Finn out and replace him and shapeshift to look like Finn, and no one will know the difference, right? Well, that plan falls through and he ends up dying. And another dark wizard finds the remains of his body and brings him back to life. And that's how we had the confrontation at the end of their story, which is during a war between these two kingdoms. And Finn is the hero. Okay, so he's trying to stop the war from happening. And how he does that is he uses a nightmare potion, which puts everyone out, all the leaders out, and they go into dream time. Okay, they go into dream time, and they're going to confront the demons here. All right, and so he does. He finds Fern, okay, and they're fighting, and he's like trying to explain to him, like, listen, we share the same trauma. I know who you are. I understand you. And Fern's like, no, you don't. You don't know. Like, realize that I can never measure up to you. And so he finds this vault, okay, in this dreamscape, because he has it in his mind. He's created a vault, a lock, a box where he keeps his traumas that he doesn't want to think about and remember. And since they are the same person, they share these same traumas, except for one, the spider demon. Okay, so after some time of them fighting back and forth, Fern finally gives in, and because Finn's like, we need to reconcile. Like there's no reason we should be fighting this. We should be fighting each other. We should be fighting this thing. And so eventually he agrees. He gets broken down, and he's like, yes, you're right. Let's go in. And this is the part that I messed up the last two times. So I'm telling you guys this part now. This is the part to pay attention to. So they decide they're going to work together. He basically tells them, like, you don't have to do it alone this time. Let's go confront this demon together. Okay, so they do. In the dreamscape, they are able to confront the spider demon, and the spider demon quickly reminds them that, if you kill me, the form of Fern won't be able to hold up anymore. Okay, like, and they know that's true, but at the same time, it's still a demonic consciousness, so it needs killed. Okay, and they do, and they kill it. And afterward, Fern is finally at peace. They finally have, and this is the very last episode of the whole entire show. They finally are at peace, and Fern actually, he disintegrates. He basically, but happily, okay, like he was happy to finally have this off of his shoulders. And since it was originally the Fin sword, it actually turns into a little seed pod of a Fin sword. And when they plant it, it grows a new willow tree, which is what the entire story is basically built around. These two beings living in this treehouse together and having their adventures. Okay, so I just thought it was important to point out that, what we're really up against when it comes to human beings who perhaps struggle with narcissistic personality disorder, narcissistic traits and stuff like that, is like, this is how it's able to get in and take hold. I think a lot of times it's like, this is what leaves us open, these wounds that we have, these holes that resonate with darker things or lower vibrational things. This is how they can get in. This is how the demons get in, is through our own traumas. I think that's that you could make that link based on the story. Okay, like they shared the same traumas. That is how this demon was able to get in and take over. And the only way to fix it is to purge of it somehow, to do the healing, to confront the traumas. All right, otherwise anyone could be susceptible to it, I feel like, so yeah, I just wanted to quickly go over that, and now I did. And so now we can put the story of Finn and Fern to rest, and hopefully we'll do another one here coming up. Okay, because there's so many different side stories. Like I even was thinking about Peppermint Butler, who is a dark wizard that is doing like they have this on a kids show. He's doing like a satanic ritual basically, and one of the beings in the background it looks like an angel, and just shows you that sometimes things that come looking in a certain form aren't always what they appear. Okay, so another thing. Okay, okay. We're going somewhere completely different now. Okay, bear with me here. So I don't know who was around when. This is just, we're putting out some loving prayers for this particular person that I'm about to mention. So on Typical Skeptic, I did a reading for someone. Okay, and if you want to go check that out, that'd be great. It's on Typical Skeptic, but this is a more serious subject. Okay, so one of the people that I did a reading for, their screen name was Keith P. Okay, I had someone reach out to me who was their best friend, who basically said, the last words I got from my friend, the last message I got from him, and he showed me screenshots and everything, was him sharing this reading with me and telling me to go watch it and how accurate it was for him. And he was like, let me tell you, it was so dead on. And here's the sad part. He says, my friend passed away shortly after it. And he said, I just want to know if you can give me a reading. I'm just blown away, wow, what happened? What happened to this person? And I could feel it. This is the thing. This is the craziest part about it. When I connected to that person during the stream, I could feel it. And I didn't want to shine too big a bright light on it at the time, because it was just a sadness that I know very well. And I could feel that. And just God bless him. I hope he had a safe crossing over. And anyone who wants, you can please just send some loving thoughts and prayers and wishes to Keith Perez. That was his name, because he was a young man who died. So God bless him, and God bless his friend. I hope that if he does decide he really wants to have a reading, that I can bring some comfort to him. Okay, so what else am I going to bring up here today? Okay, so the other thing I'm going to talk about is the reason why I brought this doll here. Okay, we're talking about how when you're in alignment, okay, and you ask the universe for something, that if you really are in, I feel like, a pure intention state, that they will answer that prayer super quickly. It should have a turnaround. Like I said, for me, it's usually 24 hours. Sometimes it can take a bit longer, but usually if it's something simple enough, okay, it'll happen. So what's the story of this doll? Why I have this doll out here right here? Okay, right here, right now. Well, oh, and by the way, and that's Fiona, the human back there. That's basically Finn's female version. I brought that out here just because I love it, and I'm Fiona. Anyway, so one time I was sitting around my house. This was a few years back. Okay, or actually, yeah, it was about 2 years back at this point. And I was looking at this doll, and I absolutely love this doll. Okay, because that's the reason I got it, is because it reminded me of myself. Okay, with the hair color at the time I bought it, because my hair color is actually dark blonde, very, very similar to this color. And I just love brides. I love dress. I love little frilly things like this. And so I was sitting there thinking, I was looking at it, and I've had this for quite a few years. And I was thinking, gosh, I wonder what I would look like now if I was a doll. What would I look like if I was a doll? That, like I just had that thought about it and put it out there. And I must have said it in some kind of way, because the very next day I got a text message from a friend, it wasn't even a friend, it was just a random person on Facebook. And they said, I came across this picture of a doll and it reminded me of you. And I thought I just wanted to share it with you. I was like, and it did look like me. It did. And it looked like this. It looked like the same kind of clothes, but it was like, it was a little sexier, actually. It had a little bit of lace and stuff like this coming down the bust. And she had blue hair that was like in curls. It was kind of lighter blue. It was like a mix between this, maybe a little bit shade lighter. Okay. And this happens often for me when I ask for pictures of things. Okay. Like when I said to my guides and myself or whatever, I was just saying, I really wanted a picture of what my soul braid walk-in looked like. I really wanted a picture that resembled them, that I could show people. So I could be like, when this being came to my end of my bed, and only showed me them for a second because they thought I'd be scared. This is why. This is what it looked like. And when I asked for that, and when I said that prayer, again, within 24 hours, I got my response. And it was a friend of mine, actually a friend of mine in this chat, who sent me the picture, which was Alexis. Okay, Ascension Diary is there. She has answered multiple prayers of mine, actually. So that's how I know that she is in tune to a certain degree there, right? So, or at least she's on my same wavelength, she's out there answering prayers. Okay, so all this to get into the crow medicine. Okay, we're leading up into the crow medicine now. Okay, so the main thing that I took away from the thing I'm about to read to you guys is that the crows are asking us to look at the difference between human laws and sacred laws. Okay? So, as you know, I made this creation spread for the upcoming Journey to Truth conference. And I mentioned in my stream, or my little video that I uploaded with the creation spread, there was a couple things that were missing that I was still waiting to receive in the mail. Well, what I didn't tell anyone, okay, was that those couple things were all having to do with crows. It was for the crow medicine that I was going to be bringing to this event. Okay, so I had a good friend of mine here, Geraldine, who sent me this. I think it was it's some kind of tarot card set. Okay, it was in its birds. All right, and so she thought of me and she sent this to me, and I actually missed the email. Okay, I missed the email at first. She had sent it to me a while back, and now I've read it and stuff like that, and I'm just like, this is like so powerful. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna. I hate reading things like this online for people. Really, I do, but in this case, I'm gonna make an exception because I really think it hits harder that way. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about some of my crow being experiences. All right. So it says, there is a medicine story that tells of Crow's fascination with her own shadow. She kept looking at it, scratching it, pecking it, until her shadow woke up and became alive. Then Crow's shadow ate her. Crow is dead. No, Crow is dead Crow now. Dead Crow is the left-handed guardian. If you look deeply into Crow's eyes, you will have found the gateway to the supernatural. Crows know the unknowable mysteries of creation and is the keeper of all sacred law. Since Crow is a keeper of sacred law, Crow can bend the laws of the physical universe and shapeshift. This ability is rare and unique. Few adepts exist in today's world, and fewer still have mastered Crow's art of shapeshifting. This art includes doubling, or being in two places at the same time consciously, taking on another physical form and becoming the fly on the wall to observe what is happening far away. The Europeans that came to Turtle Island were named the Boat People by Slow Turtle. Even with the knowledge of alchemy possessed by certain boat people, none had ever seen the powerful shape-shifting of shamans who utilized crow medicine. Many boat people were frightened by what appeared to be animals coming into the camps or dwellings to discern their medicine. Crow medicine people are masters of illusion. All sacred texts are under the protection of Crow. Creator's Book of Laws or Book of Seals is bound in crow feathers. Crow feathers tell of a spirit made flesh, which, pause for a second, this part is, it's kind of reminding me of the concept of the fin sword even itself. Okay, and like you're able to be this, to take shape of some sort, some other shape. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to what I'm saying. Okay. So Crow is also the protector of Agala or ancient records. The sacred law belts of the wampum or the wampum belts, beaded by Native American women long before the boat people or Europeans came to this continent, contain the knowledge of Great Spirit's laws. Oh, sorry, we're flipping the next page. And kept in the black lodges of women. The law which states that all things are born of women is signified by Crow. Children are taught to behave according to the rules of popular culture or particular culture. Most orthodox religious systems create a mandate concerning acceptable behavior within the context of worldly affairs. Do this and so, or you will go to heaven. Do this and so, or you will go to hell. Different formulas for salvation are demanded by each true faith. Human law is not the same as sacred law. More so than any other medicine, Crow sees that the physical world and the spiritual world, as humanity interprets them, are an illusion. There are billions of worlds. There is an infinitude of creatures. Great Spirit is within all. If an individual obeys Crow's perfect laws as given by the Creator, then at death, he or she dies a good medicine death, going on to the next incarnation with clear memory of his or her past. I found that very interesting. Crow is an omen of change. Crow lives in the void and has no sense of time. The ancient chiefs tell us that Crow sees simultaneously the three fates, past, present, and future. Crow merges light and darkness, seeing both inner and outer reality. Again, that reminds me of the concept of Finn and Fern being like the shadow versions, like dark, like Link and the Shadow Link, Finn and Fern being the dark one. Okay. So, and you have to merge these two together, this inside of yourself, your shadow integration. Yeah. If Crow medicine appears in your card spread, okay, this is talking about the cards, pause and reflect on how you see the laws of Great Spirit in relation to the laws of humanity. Crow medicine signifies a first-hand knowledge of a higher order of right and wrong than indicated by the laws of human culture. With Crow medicine, you speak in powerful voice when addressing issues that for you seem out of harmony, out of balance, or out of whack. Remember that the crow looks at the world with first one eye, then the other, cross-eyed. In the Mayan culture, cross-eyeds had a privilege and a duty of looking into the future. You must put aside your fear of being a voice in the wilderness and call, I like that they did that, and call the shots as you see them. As you learn to allow your personal integrity to be your guide, your sense of feeling alone will vanish. Your personal will can then emerge so that you will stand in your truth. The prime path of true Crow people says to be mindful of your opinions and actions. Be willing to walk your talk, speak your truth, know your life's mission, and balance past, present, and future in the now. Shape-shift that old reality and become your future self. Allow the bending of physical laws to aid you in creating and and shape-shifting world to a world of peace. And that's the end of that one. But yeah, I just thought that was so powerful and so in resonance with everything that I've been going through and feeling. And even when I'm talking about, like, that was the main thing that Finn wanted to do for Fern. He wanted to say, hey, you don't have to do it alone this time. You know, that's been one of the main things that have been in my heart for a very long time, ever since I learned of, you know, took the red pill, so to speak, and learned of the corruptions of the world. You know, to think about all these people, all of these humans that are just suffering by themselves with no one to hear their story, no one to witness their pain, you know, and I know that pain. So I just wanted to make sure that I could be of service in that way, to where I won't be afraid to listen, and I won't be afraid to sit with someone as they go through that. As they go through the revealing, you know, the unprocessed feelings of certain experiences. Just like Finn was trying to do for Fern. That is what I want to do for people. That's why I'm here. And so let's talk about my crow being experiences, though, because I have met some shape-shifting crow beings. And, you know, I've always really had an affinity for crows because, you know, I have a really close connection to Odin, I guess you could say. And Odin is, you know, crows and ravens. Those are his thing. And so I've always really, really loved the crows. And so this one time, this was a few years back. This was probably like not 2 years back, maybe 3. Okay. I had this dream, and you know me in dreams. Okay. And this was actually a really rare and unique dream, because it wasn't one of those dreams where I looked at it and I was like, oh, you know, that like these things happen afterward. You know, this wasn't one of those kind of, it was when I used to actually have dreams that weren't always like little future predictions. You know, so I had this dream that I was in a crow's nest. Basically, it looked like a giant one room nest type of dealio. Like, it had gray walls. They looked really jagged. Okay, and there was a bed. I was sitting on this couch that was next to a window, and there was this bed in front of me, and there was like a table next to the bed, and there was another window over here to the side. And I was just looking out the window, and suddenly the other window, okay, because I was looking out this window, the other window over here to the side, a crow burst into it. And it kind of frightened me. It startled me. And they kind of shook. And as they shook, they shape-shifted into what looked like a man. Okay, but he didn't, looked like a black void. All right. And he was trying not to scare me. And he was kind of coming over to me. And he was pointing at something on the couch. He was like this. He was like trying to get me to throw something to him. And it was this little black flower. It looked like it was made out of felt or something like that, some kind of cloth. And it was about this big. Okay. And he was like telling me, motioning for me to toss this little flower to him. And as I did, it shapeshifted into another crow being. It was a woman. And they were kind of laughing. Like, you could see, like, she was like, why'd you blow my cover? You know, like, and he's like, ha, 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 you know, like, oh. And so it was really, really funny experience. I was overjoyed too. I was like, oh my God, you know, like, not one, but 2. It was so exciting. And so after that dream, there was actually these crows that I used to see as I would take my son to work when he used to have this job at the movie theater back in the day. And I noticed, I really wanted to see where this crow's nest was, because I would always see this pair of crows. And I did find where the nest was. And the nest was in a tree directly over the street that I drove down. And so, you know, I didn't always get to see them. Sometimes they would be out, and sometimes they weren't. So I decided, okay, what if I could contact these crows somehow and ask them to come out and see me? All right. So on the way to driving, and this, you guys can practice this stuff. This is just how I connect with animals, and you'll see how it works. Okay. And so I was driving, and I went into my heart, and I opened up the space in my mind, and I visualized a phone, an old phone. Okay. And I picked up that phone, and I'm putting out the call to the crows. All right. And I see it and I put the call out and the crow being is up. They were in bed and the man gets up and he answers and I'm saying to him, I'm about to be heading down the street. If you want to come out and say hi to me, you guys want to come out. And he said to the woman crow, basically, she said, no, I'm tired. I don't want to go. You can go ahead and go. But he was like, yeah, I'll show up, and hung up the phone. And so I put the call out. And as I'm driving down the street, who happens to pop out of the nest at that time and fly right over me? Just one crow. Just one, not both of them. Just one. And so I just feel like those are, and I do this other time with other birds too. And I really hope some people try this because I really want to hear some of the stories of what you guys can connect with animals and what you can create this little relationship, so to speak, with them. Because I do it with hawks too. Quite often for most of my life, I'd not ever noticed any big birds or anything like that flying in the side. I'd never, and when I finally started connecting to hawks and I just would tell them as I'm driving out, getting ready to leave, hey guys, I'm about to be coming out. So if you want to see me driving in my car, pop up in the sky. And sure enough, 9 times out of 10, it happens. Maybe more than, maybe 10 out of 10. No, 9 times out of 10, I would say. So yeah, go ahead and try that stuff. Okay, so that's my experience with the crow beings. I think that it was spot on considering the crow medicine that Geraldine had sent me, like completely lined up with my experience. Like they're masters of the void, right? So to speak. Yeah, it was really cool. All right, I'm just gonna take a breath here for a second and get a drink of water. Where did I put my water? Oops. Oop. Got it. I'm gonna say hi to some of the other people that maybe showed up here now. All right. Hi there, Trevor. Hi there, Queen Victor. Nice to see you guys here. Sandra, nice to see you. Oh, April. I'm so glad to have you. Braden, nice to see you too. Such a pleasure. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, thanks for telling what those cards were, Geraldine. Appreciate that. Really cool. Oh, Jose Riviera, nice to see you. All right. Anything else? Nope. I think we're pretty good. Okay. So we did those things. Okay. So the other thing I want to talk about is body scanning. Okay. So the other thing that's been popping up into my mind lately is this experience I had. Actually, you know what, guys? We're going to talk that in a second. But first, I just feel like doing the fortune cookie. I kind of want to just spice it up a little bit here. Let's do the fortune cookie now. Let's change the pattern. All right, let's be spontaneous together. All right, who's ready? Who's ready for the fortune cookie? Let's see if it lines up with our messages. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay. All right, here we go. I hope there's a fortune in it. Okay. Sometimes they feel so light, I get worried that there's not going to be a fortune in it. So I've had that happen a few times. I'm like, no, don't do that. Okay. So what we got? Either you can or you can't. Either way, you are right. That's true. That is so true. What you believe, it's funny because that's part of what I was thinking about right before this stream is I was thinking about the power, willpower. And what was it in connection with? I'm trying to bring that back up because it was very interesting. Like the things that your heart wishes and you can focus on with your intent. Like what is truly possible? The possibilities are endless. Just like the crow medicine was saying, like there's billions of worlds. There's an infinitude of creatures, and I thought about the fact that one time I told someone that I truly believe that love is so powerful that I understand what they mean by saying that it can move mountains, and I think it's a powerful, and I thought to myself, well, I even said to someone one time, or I was thinking about Game of Thrones is what it was, and how Khaleesi said, she won't be with her beloved again until the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. And I was thinking, someone who is powerful enough, someone who loves enough, I really do think that they could find themselves in a world where that's possible. I think if they truly believe it with the strong enough intent that we are that powerful. If they were unlocked, that it wouldn't necessarily be that we would experience that. If someone had that wish, let's just say, just hypothetically, like, oh, I want to see this happen, like, and they put all their work into just seeing that reality. I think that it absolutely is a reality that already exists just by the fact that we can think about it. And that if they desired that so much, that they would basically just switch into another dimension or switch into another timeline where that is possible. Like, I really think, I don't know, I just stop and think about that. Like, how would that happen? They'd have to go to like another dimension or a timeline where there's enough of the co-creative consciousness that is in alignment with that ideal, so that way it could transpire, or going into another dimension where that's already the fact, where it's already the sun is rising in the west and setting in the east. I don't know. These are just things that food for thought, things that I think about. So let's get though to the Vipassana body scanning thing. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm pretty sure the body scanning, that is the right meditation. I shouldn't be questioning that, but sometimes I just doubt myself on stupid little things. So when you do body scanning, okay, like when you notice that there are places as you're doing your body scan, all right, that you can't feel it so much, or it's tense, or it feels heavy and it feels thick, because just using your consciousness, using your attention, driving it to look at all of the things as you go through yourself, okay, you just slowly scan over it, okay, and you'll feel it, because your consciousness is what's shining that light in the places that you want it to be, okay, and you just want to test to see, like, okay, where is light able to get in, where is it not, where is it held up, okay, because it's those held up spots that is where it needs releasing, because the whole point of being enlightened, I guess, if you want to call it that term, but the actual real thing of what that means, okay, I really believe it's just about clearing the vessel in a way so that God's love can flow through you, God's consciousness, the one and infinite creator, okay, can shine through you in the best way to where it pours out of you, okay, and you basically literally bring heaven to earth through you. All right, so it's important to look at these things that might be in your body and see what might be held up there. All right, and so I was thinking about the very first time that I ever came across something, a really big darkness that was in my body when I did a scan, okay, because it was one of the first scans I ever did, okay, and again, this was quite a few years back. It was during some kind of group meditation with people, and I was really brand new at this point. So I was doing the body scan, and I had noticed this before, but I never thought anything of it until the whole point was to be looking at this and looking at why this is there, right? So I was doing the body scan, and I noticed that for me, this entire side of my head felt like there was a darkness there. Like it was just completely, I could not get any light into it. It felt like it was occupied. Okay. And so I asked for assistance at that point in time. I asked for assistance on having it cleared. I asked for my guides or whatever to help me. I said, there's something going on here, and I need it fixed. I need this problem taken care of. Why can't I put light into the side of my brain, basically? What is going on there? And they did. They came and they were assisting me, and they basically ended up pulling something out of it. They pulled out this big looking worm thingy that came out of it. All right, and we got rid of it. And after they did that, I literally could feel the emptiness. I could feel like that spot was no longer taken up by this thing, whatever it was. And to this day, like I still can feel like the borders of from where it was at one point, but I can put the light into it now. I can bring the light into it. I can consciously draw. It still doesn't flow as strong as it does on this side, but it does. It does flow in now. So there are things out there. This is how you're going to find these things. And the way it looked for me, that's just how my consciousness chose to identify it and show me a mental picture of this is what it would look. This is like what we're taking out type of thing. But it might be something completely different experience for you. It might not be something visual. It might be smell, might be taste, might be a memory of some sort from previously in your past, maybe even a past life memory that comes out. You never know until you stop and you look at these things. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that about the body scanning. Okay, so I hope that helps some people because I definitely need to get on top of it again. I definitely feel things that need to be cleared and need to be moved, and I'm working on taking care of that. So let's see if there was anything else. You know, I guess there's one other thing I can think of to talk about, and Braden, I hope you don't mind me bringing this up. Oh, hi, Matthew and Honora. Hi, guys. I hope you don't mind me bringing this up. You know, there's definitely something going on here because how weird is it that if you're, you know, trying to come up with a business ideal with someone, okay, and we're like doing this work, and mainly he's doing the legwork, especially for it, which I'm so appreciative of. And we come up with this ideal name for this business, and it's like very unique. It was a very, very unique name, you know, and it involved a mix of the two of us basically. And when he went to go license it, I guess they told him that name was already taken. There was like a whole bunch of things that just got hit all at once, and it's like, what is going on there? That what reason would they have for like? Because it was just too many weird things. It's like, who's trying to stop this business thing from happening? You know, so I don't know. It's just some weird things going on lately, guys. I don't. It seems like a lot of people I know actually are just getting hit super hard. Like this person was supposed to, Braden, sorry, he was supposed to be coming to this Journey to Truth conference and everything like that, and they basically told him, passport, no, you don't have passport, you can't go. You know, and this happened. Like I'm like, what is going on? Like they're suddenly just putting everything to a halt. It made me feel very like, I don't know why. I just want to say Hierophant. Like it feels like the Hierophant card is coming into play here to a certain extent. Okay, so I just thought that was a little bit weird. My last thing I wanted to mention. Send some prayers our way here, guys. Get some clearing done so he can come and meet his soul family at the Journey to Truth conference, because that is a real bummer. You know, I want to meet my friends. I want to meet you guys in real life. That's when it becomes real. You know, that's when you can get activated by each other. Like the codes that we can share. You know? Okay. It's tarot time. It's tarot time. It's tarot time. Okay, so is there anything else? I'm like, did I leave anything else? Okay, so we got the Adventure Time ones and we got my regular ones. Who is interesting? Sabotage, Trevor. Sabotage, as in like someone's trying to sabotage. Like, is it someone directly doing that, or is there some kind of like energies going on life that's like, sure. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Please put your thoughts on it. Definitely. Yeah. So, who's ready? Oh, someone new. Gabber Beast TV. Hello. Nice to see you here. We're just getting ready to do our weekly tarot poll. Yeah, it seems like something needs cleared because I'm trying my best to come up with ways to be able to create some kind of income for myself. Not that I don't have an income for myself here with doing readings and such like that, but I definitely would like to have something a little bit more consistent so that way, you know, I can take care of the things that me and my children need. So I just thought that was very, very strange. Like I wish I could remember the exact name of what it was at this time, but I've been so over have so much things on my plate. And names is not my strong suit. Oh, that's why I say here I go over these names. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get better at knowing people's names. I'm going to get better at it. Tell myself that. I think I am. But let's not go ahead and put that energy in the card. Shoot, shoot, doop, doop. Doop, 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 doop. Yeah, right? Like so many people are getting hit so hard right now. I'm like, what planet is it? Is this is this Pluto and Saturn's doing right now? Like, what is happening right now? Isn't a Skype reading like a? I'm sorry. Gabber Bees TV is saying, isn't Skype reading like $5 a minute? That kind of reminds me, when you say that, kind of reminds me of those old school psychic lines that people used to call, and they would get charged like, so many dollars per minute, like, and then they turned out to all be kind of like a scam, so I mean, that's really, yeah. No, I'm more of a, I'll charge you for a one-on-one reading, but I'm gonna do this here for free live. So this is the spread we're doing for the collective. Okay. Okay. Light. This is system doing this reading for the collective. Yes. Okay. It's clicked in. Yes. One more shuffle. One more, guys. One more. For the collective. For this next week's energies. Oop. Oop. Okay. Oop. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Okay. First card we got for this next week's energies is the 8 of Rods. Okay. So the 8 of Rods is an action card. This is an action card. It's time to take action. You're going to take some actions, and you're not really sure. You could be being a bit impulsive. That's very possible with this 8 of Rods energy. And the thing is that when you pull back on your bow and you shoot off a bunch of arrows into the sky, they might not all hit on the target that you want them to hit, right? You might take out some casualties. You might hurt someone on accident through taking these actions. But so definitely I would say be cautious of impulsivity, but it's definitely a time for taking some actions, or maybe some actions are coming at you. Kind of reminds me of the fact of when we were talking about like everyone's getting hit hard, like boom, 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 all these things just coming in all at once. Okay, let's pull another one though. Tell us more. Let's talk about this. Boop. All right. Okay, so we got the Ace of Pentacles. What is this? This is, for one, it's a very lucky card. It's a very abundant card. It is an opportunity, a timeline shift opportunity in regards to things that keep you grounded. Okay, things that, money, physical items, stability, security, receiving, being able to receive. So a new way of receiving. This is an opportunity for something completely new. And apparently, if we tie it in with the 8 of Rods, this is like taking action towards that new timeline. Okay, of more stability and more groundedness. Okay, let's keep going now. One more. Tell us anything else. Anything else? Dude. Okay. We got the King of Cups. Okay. He always looks like he's like crying a little bit right there. You can see like, oh no. Okay, because he's a very emotional man. He's a very deeply emotional man. All right. He may have a little bit of self-imposed isolation, so to speak. Like he may have a hard time connecting with people, even though he has all these emotions about people. Okay, he to me, what stands out, especially in this card, is the fact that his sword is down at his side, so he might not be as communicative as other characters of the tarot deck. Okay, so something about taking actions for a new timeline of groundedness and stability in regards to this King of Cup energy, which is a cup of needing to make connections. Not only that, but needing to know how you really feel about something. being willing to take a look at what's in your own cup. You know, what emotions are you really feeling about things, and how are you going to be able to share those with people? Okay, so pay attention, pay a lookout for these types of energies in the next coming week. Like perhaps a man is acting emotionally, okay, taking actions based on these emotions that he has inside of him that he doesn't even realize are there, or maybe he does know and he's just being careless in taking all these actions that are just hitting people. You know, because I'm thinking about someone specific right now, so it would definitely line up with that type of energy. Like they've taken some kind of actions that has changed the stability. You know, because if we were going to look at it reversed, even like what if it's someone taking actions that creates some kind of instability, like a different timeline of instability. So, you know, it's just something to keep in mind. Just coming out. Okay, so that is the collective reading for with my Aquarian tarot. Okay, but you know me, I like to do the tarot on the Adventure Time ones too. Obviously, I'm a big fan. Fiona the Human. All right, I don't know why I'm shuffling those again, other than just to clear them. I'm gonna put that down. And so, yay, we get a bonus reading. Bonus reading. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so what can we talk about in the meantime as I'm shuffling this? Like it kind of felt like everything I just talked about right there at the end, right before I did the reading. It felt like those things showed up for me in the spread. That's how I would relate it to my life. That there's something going on there. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's do another one. I want to look. I want to look to see what everyone's saying. Boop, boop. Oh, hello, Pamela. Pamela Swan. Nice to see ya. I like to see new faces. Or new names, I should say. Yes, we're going to do one more Adventure Time collective card pull. Okay, now we got those super thick cards shuffled. No, I cannot shuffle it like that. It's just my instinct to do it like that at this point too. Okay, for the collective. Hold on, let me click in. I need to just click in again. Ooh, baby. Okay, yep, there we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. All right, for the collective. What message do we need to hear for the collective? Okay, so the first card we got is the Six of Swords, and this is actually a card we got last week, but in the Aquarian deck. Okay, so we got the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is a very positive card. I really love the Six of Swords. It has to do with, oh, and you know what? And Joanna pulled that card actually for us too on her one-day message. So this Six of Swords energy is really coming up, and it definitely makes me think of the fact that all the energies that are hitting everyone so hard, hold on, have faith, okay? Trust that the path you're on is the right path. You are being guided, all right? And in this particular case, this story right here, the character in this particular card is a bubble of air, okay, that fell in love with Bimo and was escorting Bimo. Bimo was lost, which is the little robot dude, okay, and he said he doesn't even know he didn't even remember where he came from. He didn't know his past, he didn't know his family, you know, and so Bimo and him end up forming this bond, and when they get back to the treehouse, Jake doesn't know that it's a sentient bubble, okay, and he pops the bubble. All right. And Bimo cries, is like, oh my God, because they just like agreed they were going to get married and stuff. And he pops the bubble. And Bemo's crying about it, like, oh my God, you killed my bubble. But then he hears a voice, and it's the bubble's voice, and he says, I'm not dead. Like, I actually forgot who I was this whole time. I've been air. I'm not a bubble. I'm air. So I'm always with you, and I'm always going to be around you because, you need it to live, right? I mean, I guess Bemo specifically doesn't, but obviously he's living in the atmosphere, so he does. But, random. So yes, we need to have faith. We need to have faith that the path we're walking, even if there's some hiccups, even if there's some bubbles that get popped, that it's meant to be. You're on the right course. Trust that you're being led the right way, especially if you're following your heart and you're being true to that. Okay, so let's tell us some more for the collective reading. Okay, we got the Six of Swords asking you to have faith. What else? What do we need to have faith about? Okay, the Three of Swords. All right, so the Three of Swords is a card of healing, honestly. It's a card that asks you to look inside your heart and see what things have been left behind, what unkind words or thoughts, traumas that you still carry around with you, maybe to the point where you don't even recognize that it's there anymore. It just feels like it's natural, feels like it's normal, but it can't get healed until you really look at it and be willing to pull that sword out. Okay, so if you are struggling, if you are feeling like you've been stabbed, okay, like it'll be okay. Pulling these swords out, realizing that it actually has nothing to do with you. It actually truly has nothing to do with you. The things that people lodge in there really has to do with them. Okay, and what they think of themselves usually. Okay, but if we look at this particular character on this card, which is Ricardio. Okay, Ricardio is actually the Ice King's heart, which is another character who is the Fool. Okay, and Ricardio, he's in love with Princess Bubblegum, basically. And so he gets brought to life because he's just trying to win over Princess Bubblegum. And he's very charming, he's very smooth, but he's also very manipulative. And he's got, like, secret intentions, okay, behind the things that he's doing. And once that comes out, the first time, okay, he is basically ended. Okay, but he actually makes it back a second time. And he creates himself a body, which is funny. We keep talking about creating bodies, right? He creates himself a body out of these limbs, okay, because he's actually just a heart. All right, so a really nasty one that is just taken on a life of its own. Okay, so what has this guy done? What ways has he caused you to suffer? Because it's time to take those swords out that have been left behind. Have faith. Take those swords out. It's time for healing. Last card. Okay, last card. What's the last piece of the message that we need to know? What's the last piece of the message? Okay. Doop, doop. All right, we got the Knight of Wands. Okay. So the Knight of Wands, this is the Huntress princess. Okay, and the Knight of Wands is an energy of acting. Not really thinking so much, but doing, needing that chase, needing some excitement, needing that carrot dangled in front of their face. Okay, that shiny object. All right, that's what motivates them to do the things that they do. And it will send them charging in if they have that motivation, if they have that desire. Okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean that once they get the thing they want, that they'll actually stay around for it. Like, it doesn't, that they'll just be on to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? So it can be quite an impulsive energy. All right, something to think about for this collective reading here. Okay, having faith about these swords, these healing that needs to happen around the heart in regards to the Knight of Wands energy, who is someone who is just not really thinking. They're just kind of acting. They're just kind of following their own desire. They're like, it can be a bit of a narcissistic energy. Okay, if we were going to have a card in the tarot that had represented something like that, it can definitely be that. They act because they're acting instinctual. They like in this particular case, she's a huntress. Okay, so he's the king of the Knight of Wands is going to go after something instinctually for that chase. Okay, they want that win, so to speak. All right, so that is, I think that's about all I can mention for that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah. No, I think that's about it. Yep, I feel good. Feel good about that. So, boop, boop. What? We got that card twice also. Which card? Which card are you talking about, Alexis? Yes, yes. Yes, I hope that helped. Joanna, I really resonated with both of those those readings, when it in regards to you. I just want to let you know you were on my mind when I was, pulling those. So I really hope that helps. Although I know that everyone can relate to these energies because that's why it's a collective reading, because the energies that we're all picking on, like if we're all tuning into this channel here, like we are connected like that. So like, just as I was telling you, like Alexis was answering my prayers, that's because we're tuned into the same God channel, and that's what I think that's, if you're drawn here, it's because you are also tuned into that same God channel frequency. That's why we all get the same messages at the same times, but just in our own unique ways and in our own life situations, they'll play out. And so I really, I really hope that helped you guys. It always does me. Like I said, I'm not exempt from these energies when I pull these. It's basically me showing you guys, like, me too. Like, what am I about to be going through with you guys? What am I about to be experiencing? It's fun. It's fun. So happy to be here with all of you. All right, I think that we are good. I think we're done. I guess the last thing, because this light is flickering over here really bad, crazy all of a sudden. I guess the last thing I wanted to mention is, I'm still having weird clock things happen. Like, I swear to God, last week when I went to go do my live stream, I was keeping an eye on the time on my computer and on this clock. And then when I went to go look at my phone, it was a completely different time. And I was like, oh my God, like, why is it? It was a few minutes behind. So I thought I was like gonna be late for the stream. I was like 2 or 3 minutes late at the time. And again, this clock, what is going on with this clock? Because I thought about that today as I went to go prepare for the stream, and I thought, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make sure I change that clock to be and the computer clock. And when I went to go do that, the clock was right. It was right again. And so was my computer one. And I'm the only one who cares about stuff like that in this house, so magic. Three of Swords. Oh, okay. She was talking about the Three of Swords. Okay. Yes. Thank you, Trevor. Yes. Oh. Oh my God, Hope. Oh my God. I almost called when I created this name, Aurora Diamond Heart, that was actually the inspiration. That was the inspiration. I thought of Lionheart. And so I almost, but then I thought of the fact of the Diamond Heart from Lisa Renee's work and what I had gone through, my experience. And so I changed it to Diamond Heart, but it was originally going to be Aurora Lionheart. So that's pretty amazing. Like, wow, that's a real gift you got there, lady. That's a real gift. Holy smokes. Tapped in. Getting chills. Yeah, before we leave, if Miss Liz, if you're listening out there, if you could drop Hope, a Hopeful Arts link for her artwork into the chat, that would really be nice. But it's okay if you don't. It's definitely okay if you don't. We can do it another time too. So, because I definitely will be showing it. I'm really excited. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Timeline convergence. Okay, yeah. That resonates. That resonates, Matthew. Thank you. Definitely. A time sync. Wow. Yeah, what is it? This is time traveler energy, you guys. We're all time travelers, all of us. Oh, yeah, her artwork link. Gosh, Hope, could you just type it what it would be without the link part if you want, and we'll put it in there. Oh, okay. Yes, that's right, Honora. Sorry. Yeah. That definitely resonates, though. Timeline convergence. I'm so sorry, Miss White Swan. I'm so sorry. Don't even worry about it. It's okay. We'll get it next time. Because, like I said, she's doing this artwork, so we're going to have another opportunity. Boop. Okay, then. I think I had a great stream today. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I felt a pretty even flow throughout it energetically the whole time, so it was nice. Okay. Oh. So if there's anything else, now's the time. If there's anything else you guys want to put in the chat, I'm going to wait just a second. Oh, wow, you did it. Oh, Miss White Swan. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for coming. So appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, I'm so glad you were able to make it too, Queen Victor. Yeah, I think you were the one I emailed or I wrote in the comments. Like there was at one point that I literally thought about you and thought about. I was like, oh wow, they didn't get a chance to make it, and you were actually leaving me a comment under the stream at that time that I was thinking about you, and the fact that you missed it. So yeah, are there aliens inside the moon? Yes, most likely. Yes, I think so. That giant satellite. The giant spaceship. All right, wonderful people. All right, beautifuls. Whoop, whoop. I will catch you later. Oh. We'll get you taken care of, Dennis. Don't worry about it. I got you. Bye. Oh, she did it again. There you go, Dennis. All right. All right. If you want to get a hold of me, don't forget you can email me at auroradiamondheart@gmail.com. And definitely get a hold of me if you want a reading. I love doing these readings, so please get at me. Okay? I love you guys. Take care. All right? Have a good week. I'll see you next week.